Hey, this is Hubert here. In this video I'll be showing you how I made these aluminum gimbals for my Grado SR325. So in a nutshell, after about a few years, the gimbal would fall from its axle. I contacted the dealer and they said that Grado would replace the gimbal for free, which is a great warranty. I just had to bring or send the headphone to the dealer. But then I thought, I'll make them myself. I also thought that it might be interesting for people to see how stuff can be made, so I filmed the whole process. So if you want to see how I made these gimbals, keep watching. First, I drew the gimbal along with the cup in a 3D drawing program. The design is fine by me and I also didn't want to change it. The stock material has the shape of a square. It's not the most material efficient way to manufacture the gimbal, but it was the only material we had lying around. Then I put the 3D part in a computer-aided machining program because I'll be using a CNC milling machine. In that computer program I programmed the tools I'm going to use, their spindle speeds, the paths they should run, etc. Then I run a simulation to see what I end up with. And if that's okay, I generate a file which contains all the numerical code for the machine to mill the gimbal. Then that file goes into the machine. Now we need to define the origin in the XYZ coordinate system of the machine. And then start milling. Here you can see the product being milled and being deburred, and that was step 1. Second step is to mill away the rough material. Because of the square I made, I can easily clamp and mill it. Step 3. Now I clamp it vertically and drill and tap the holes for the 2 screws for suspending the cups. And in the 4th step, I made a small center hole for the axles. Now onto a conventional machine. Here you can see me aligning up the product to the center of the spindle. You can also see that I angled the machine vise and it is set at about 11 degrees. I use a end mill to pre-drill the hole so that the drill I'll use won't go its own way. Then drill it, on to cutting the thread. For the first few revolutions I keep the tab in the holder and I gently squeeze the M3 tab in the product. Release it and cut the rest of the thread this way. On to the latte where I cut off the product, and after that, let's get rid of that ugly shininess by bead blasting it. And then the final touch, spray painting. On to the latte again. Here I am customizing the grub screws which are going to hold the cups. I need to cut a thread on the axles and for that I'm using a cutting plate which is mounted on a holder for the latte. Because the axles are serrated, it gives a rather interesting thread. Now the most fun part, assembly. I'm using way too much thread locker in this example and I learned that thread locker is quite aggressive to freshly spray painted surfaces. Oh, the thread locker is well for keeping the grub screws in place. Alright, so that was my project. I hope you enjoyed watching this movie. For now, take care, bye bye.